fellow members of the Senate, I feel very compelled to speak in regards to this proposed budget. Despite Democrat and Republican legislators both sending letters to the governor asking for support for school construction grant program, the governor has refused to do anything. The letters we've sent just a few months ago, in fact, from both sides of the aisle, asking for help and asking for support. We've read in the stories or heard of stories about how roofs in old schools have fallen in on classrooms or how cement crashed into a classroom. Unfortunately, no one was hurt, but the need for major improvements in our facilities needs to be a high priority and much more than what we've seen here. We talked about spreading the money, in fact, over a 3-year period just to get something going, but nothing has happened. Health and safety of our children should be something we can all agree on, and we need to. This impacts all of us. It has been years, in fact, since we've had capital schools construction grants for K-12 schools. There is a very great need. I'd like to reference a document that is put out by the Illinois State Board of Education. This document is dated December 20th of 2022. It's called the 22 Capital Needs Assessment Survey Report. Let me share you just some fascinating things about that. Capital Needs Assessment Survey results. Capital survey results were collected from May through October of 2022. Responses were submitted by 462 elementary, secondary, and unit school districts. Districts reported, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Districts reported approximately $8 billion of capital needs for new construction, not only new construction, but also for repairs to existing facilities, health, life, safety work, and other capital projects for the next 2 years. $8 billion, guys. And what do we have in the budget? Significant findings of the survey also included nearly $4 billion is needed for health, life, safety repairs, replacements or renovations. More than $1.3 billion is needed for facility repair projects. More than $957 million, almost $1 billion again, is needed to build 56 new school buildings. An additional $936 million is needed for 156 building additions. Guys, the numbers just keep going and going and going. Other capital projects, including asbestos abatement. Oh yeah, we're not done with that, are we? We're not done. School security measures, energy conservation, accessibility measures. They gave a number of $782 million. Districts reported using 1,320 temporary classrooms for instructional purposes. A total of 589 additional classrooms are needed for pre-garden and kindergarten classes. Folks, we have over 800 school districts across the state, from one end of the state to the other, from Cairo to Chicago. And what are we showing for our capital construction grants in this budget? What are we showing? I know I worked with Senator Sims and Representative Hernandez just a couple of years ago working on the one bill regarding changing the school construction grants. And I truly appreciate that they're partisan, working together, forgive me. The conversations worked very well, and we made a better bill out of that. And it was all for the good of our kids, our communities, and our families. And I appreciate the efforts on undoing that. It would not have happened otherwise, so thank you. But here we are today with nothing to show for this. And we represent the state of Illinois. $8 billion, folks. The budget has left our schools, our kids behind. The ability of our students to learn are greatly impacted by their learning environments. I'm not telling you anything we don't already know. This will not get fixed by itself. And Governor, if I may, there is much more to do. And the clock just keeps ticking. And the need is growing. I also would like to mention one other thing, if I may. This is something of smaller amounts, but still very, very important. Soil and water grants. They have a budget of about, what, $8.5 million? They're almost cut in half. We have soil and water offices all over the entire state of Illinois. We have 102 counties, and we have people representing the soil and water, which we call, is very important because you only have one world, right? One earth. And we're basically cutting them in half. I think, Governor, we're leaving our soil and water folks behind. And if we're leaving them behind, we're leaving the entire state behind. So I ask that we definitely consider this, rethink about some things. Our county fairs, over 90 county fairs we have in the state of Illinois, and they each produce and improve the local economies of the farmers and the communities that are there. And there's much more to do. I do need to make note, I do appreciate the increase, if I may, of our ag education, which is such a big, important part of our ag economy, which is one of the largest in the state of Illinois. But we have much more to do, and we are leaving parts of our state behind. I ask that we vote no.